Hello, book friends. Thank you for being here. I am averaging every other week right now, which this is only the second week. So yay, I've reached my goal. I wanted to do every week to every other week, and this week will make it every other week. That is my ultimate goal, is to get to where I merge into weekly videos for you and for myself. You know, I have my husband to talk about books with, but really no one else. So talking to you about the books sounds fun to me, and let's having this community and this engagement back and forth. I am curious because statistics say that YouTubers watch book videos either Friday night or Saturday night. I kind of agree with that personally, but I am curious, based on your time zone, what day of the week do you watch booktube videos? Because I want to make sure that I'm putting these up when you're here. I don't really want to do necessarily a book club, but like a book meeting. There's this thing in Fort Worth, Texas that's called a Silent Book Club. And I love the idea of that, where everyone gets in this environment of this hotel, I think restaurant is what it looks like when I'm following on Instagram. I haven't been to it yet. But something like that could be fun, to where we just kind of meet, read for an hour, 30 minutes, whatever we're reading. And then at the end of that, for the last roughly, 15 minutes or so, discuss the books that we're reading. It could be fun. We can definitely investigate that later. But for now, I'm here to talk to you about a couple books that I just finished, actually. I am going to be looking down at my notes because I'm 48 and these videos are new to me, so staying on track isn't something I do well. But on my Remarkable, I have notes so that I can kind of stay on track with you. If I go rambling, I apologize. That's just who I am. The first one I want to talk about, just because I was reading The Gunslinger by Stephen King. I love that book, that series. I'd give it about a 70, so maybe a 3.5, 4-star rating for the series as a whole. But I was like, I would love a female gun-wielding character in a prominent role in a book, and found this one, Make Me No Grave by Hayley Stone. Absolutely enjoyed it. It's not quite as world building or colorful as Gunslinger, but it was fantastic. And the female character is not the lead. It's actually from the role of the marshal, which is a male, but he is to bring in the main character, the main female character, who has committed some major crimes, and to find some magical situations that they're in. It's not, magic system is not the main topic of the book, but it is an important topic. And I just found this book so enjoyable because it was a fast read. While I'm not necessarily a seasonal read where I need to read cozy, magical books through the October season, I have become that way this year. And I wanted something that was cozy and somewhat fast-paced, and this was that. The last book I read before this one was Dark Age. Dark Age I read, and I was like, you know what, I want something a little bit lighter and more cozy, faster read. This hit every one of those boxes, and it was fantastic. It is dealing with witches, but it's not the main topic of the book. It's just the marshal's journey to bring her in, and that's it, and all the trouble they get in along the way. And I enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. It was a 5-star for me. If I could have gone 4.5 stars, I probably would have. But through Goodreads, you could only do, 4 or 5. So I went 5. I rounded up. And then the next book I read was Kingfisher. This will be the first book I've ever read of T. Kingfisher. It was recommended by Elliot Brooks, her YouTube, and she recommended it. And she used 2 words. I want to say she said cozy horror or magical horror, and with it being October, it's like, let's see if there is a hype and a connection truly with reading a horror in the month of October. And there is. It was so fantastic. That book is called A Sorceress Come to Call. It is dealing with the main character, Cordelia. She's 14 years old. Her age is important in the role. Her mom controls her through what's called obedience, and I felt that word kind of explained everything about the book. She used the word obedience versus some other deep word that she could have used, but she just chose to use the word obedience, that she makes them obedient. And that said everything about the book, because the book was extremely simple, very fun, fastest I think I've ever read a book. It could have been read in a day, but I do break my books up no matter what. Just went in about 3 or 4 days. This book I don't actually own because I watched her video. I just went ahead and got it on Kindle. I will be getting it to put it on my shelf because I enjoyed it that much. Elliot Brooks had said in her video that, she couldn't, speaking of Cordelia, couldn't close the doors. And I was like, thinking in passing, well, okay, that can't be like an important plot line, but it kind of is. And I laughed every time I read it that they found a way to bring it up in the book that the doors couldn't be closed. There was really a connection and a reason as to why of that. The mother has lost her mind. She is absolutely insane, controlling, making people obedient. She's a sorcerer herself, and through it there's magic, there's mystery, there's murder. It's just the perfect setup for an October book. So I highly recommend it. I recommend it to anyone. It was a 5-star for me. Maybe the book was too simple to give it a 5-star, but it made me happy, and it was a book that I was able to finish within days. It was cozy. I loved the characters you loved along the way. I definitely recommend it. And there were shocking twists and turns still. It's just like, you didn't just do that. So go read that book, please. I'll put a picture up of the cover on that one because it was so freaking good. I do not know what my next read is going to be. I have been looking on my Kindle for something again cozy. So if you have any recommendations, cozy horror, put those down for sure. The horror aspect. I came from a background of enjoying mystery, suspense, and horror books, and then later in life crossed over to fantasy books. As you can probably see, mostly behind me is mostly fantasy. There's some literature through here somewhere. And I am in school, and we have to go into the book called The Power. It is a TV show, but I do make myself read the books because I don't want to accidentally get a hold of something that had a storyline alteration and then go to write about that paper and then find out I was writing about something totally different than the book. But beyond that, I've looked at Miss Poe, M.R.S. Poe, and that book looks phenomenal. Really, out of what and I don't own that one outside of Kindle version. Out of what I own, The Spell Shop could be great. Witch King, there's a couple, but if you have some suggestions, I'll look at those too and see if I have already owned any of these or get it by Kindle if there's something that really entices me. If you don't mind, when you do leave a comment, put, is it mystery, is it horror, is it magical, is it all three? So this way I can kind of like lean towards one or the other. The other thing I want to talk about is book spending. I don't really want to talk about it, as you can tell. If we don't talk about it, it's not a problem. I have been spending way too much in books. And I need to put financial focus right in the forefront. And I have a problem with Barnes & Nobles. I will spend somewhere between $150 and $300 in books without any problem. I do go to half-price books some, but not a lot. In fact, I got Witch King, I want to say, by Martha Wells for less than $10 there. And actually, I got an Elliot Brooks book, which I think she's working on another one now. I can't see the title right now because I'm half blind, but I don't mind shopping there on discount, but there's sometimes you just want the new book that came out. And I'll buy it on Amazon, but I also have that thing where I hear people in my head, especially like Chuck Wendig saying, appreciate it, but if you'll buy it from the actual bookstores, we benefit as authors better. I want to support the ones that I really love. 2023, I started collecting, I want to say towards the middle or end of the year. So I had to build all of this within a short amount of time, which is some of why the book dollar amount was so high. But now it's time to bring it down some. For one, I'm running out of space. I don't want to have to unhaul things that I actually enjoy just to make room for new things. So I do Hoopla, love Hoopla and love Libby. Right now our login is through North Carolina, but we just moved to Texas. So I've got to figure out our library here. It says where I live in a small town. So it's a small library, and we're being told to get access to the larger branch. We may have to pay $50 a year for the digital access. There's two of us that are very devout readers in this house, and that's $100 a year, which is, cheaper than buying books. So there's an argument there. Hoopla is free, but right now, like I said, we're based out of North Carolina. They're an hour time zone different. For me to get a book through Hoopla same day, I have to be up at almost 1 a.m. to get a book. So that's not going to work long term. So I have to do something soon. But yeah, that's kind of it. I don't really have a whole lot outside of that. The couple books I've read. I do want to show you this. I picked up. It is a Kindle holder, but it can also hold other things. I will say the scribe fits I want to say it fits here. I don't have my scribe in this room. I want to say it fits in the front pocket with its rubber case, or maybe without the case altogether. My normal Kindle fits in here perfectly, with case or not. But you can also put like a book in here too when you're going to the coffee shop or to the park or something to read. And it is so freaking cute. But anyway, that's cute. I might actually link that in the description below if you want to pick that up from Amazon. It was pretty darn cheap. But if you like these videos and this casual conversation about books, please subscribe, please like the video. It lets me know that you liked it and that you wouldn't mind seeing me grow and get better at these, and that you enjoyed the content and the conversation that we're having. And I'd like to, open this conversation for you to join in with me so that we can have a fun conversation about books in a safe environment every week. That would be so fun. But again, thank you for being here. Subscribe, like, and I will see you next week.